We show a lot of love to Call of Duty on this channel, more than most, I think, but you know what doesn't get a lot of love? Perks. Perks are everything in COD, but some perks have completely slipped your mind. Welcome to the page. Do me a favor, make sure you're following with those notifications on, and we're about to show some love. We're about to shower love all over the forgotten perks of COD. That's right. We're going to start things off, welcome everybody, Chaos here, with Peripherals in Advanced Warfare. I know, starting things off with a perk that I actually forgot existed, so I'm at fault too until I looked it up in the COD wiki. Peripherals was a tier 2 perk in Advanced Warfare, and it would make your minimap just a little bit bigger. Now, I'm not saying that that's not helpful, but in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't a priority. In a game like Advanced Warfare, where you're going to be moving around a lot, you're probably more concerned about perks that will improve your speed and mobility over maybe keeping you off the radar. I don't know. Or maybe you want ones that keep you off the radar. I'm sorry, not make your radar bigger. I do like the idea of increasing my mini-map size, but was I going to take a whole perk dedicated to it? Probably not. Next up is Scout in Black Ops. I've said this a few times before, but nobody's really holding their breath for that long in a COD game. If you're sniping, you're probably only going to press the hold breath button for a couple seconds before you pull the trigger. However, back in the day, there were quite a few different perks that would let you hold your breath for even longer, which was kind of a pointless feature if you ask me. In Black Ops 1, the perk was called Scout. It was probably the most pointless of them all. It would give you a few extra seconds on your breath holding, and then the pro version of the perk, it would let you swap your weapons faster. No idea what that has to do with holding your breath, but it is what it is. And you know what else was in a tier 2 category? Sleight of hand, steady aim, harden. Yeah, nobody was running Scout. Next up, Tossback in World at War. I bet you don't even know what this one is. When was the last time you actually threw back an enemy grenade in a COD game? Probably not recently. After all, the game has evolved so much that not very many people are even running normal frag grenades anymore. But did you know that in World at War, there was a perk dedicated to throwing back grenades? Tossback was a tier 3 perk that would allow you to reset the fuse on an enemy grenade after you picked it up, meaning you wouldn't have that frustrating scenario of an enemy grenade blowing up in your hand while you threw it back. And you probably guessed it. Not very many people ran Tossback. It was just a little weird to have a full perk dedicated to something this small. And you know what other perks were in that tier 3 category? Deep Impact, Steady Aim, Extreme Conditioning, Martyrdom, and Second Chance. Nobody was running Tossback. They weren't. Next up, Team Link in Black Ops 4. Now, BO4 had some interesting perks, most of which returned from previous Black Ops games. One of the brand new perks was called Team Link, and ironically, it was probably the least used in the game. Team Link was a tier 3 perk that would let you see your teammates through walls, and it would also paint their fog of war on your minimap. Now, the Black Ops 4 minimap was weird, but ultimately it didn't play as big part as the gameplay as Treyarch thought it was. And really, all Team Link did was add more clutter to your screen because now you were seeing your teammates through walls, which made enemies harder to see, and everybody knows the annoying feeling of seeing an enemy but thinking they're friendly because you saw your teammate's nameplate behind them. It was just basically a perk that would make that happen more often. Nobody's using it. At number 6, Bling, Modern Warfare 2. Now this one, a lot of people used it back in the day, but I'm willing to bet a lot of you forgot about it. Bling was a tier 1 perk that allowed you to put a second attachment on your primary weapon. Oh my goodness. And then Bling Pro would allow a second attachment on your secondary. I know, it's crazy. 2 attachments. Back in the day, this blew people's minds because at this point you could only put 1 attachment on your gun, so Bling opened up a new world of possibilities. But, as you probably imagine, there was no need for a Bling perk within a couple of years after that because at that point multiple attachments per gun were expected. So yes, Bling may have gotten its shine in its field usage back in the day, but you probably forgot about it because it's just, yeah, you did. At number 5, Bandolier in COD 4 and World at War. Super useful perk that a lot of people used, but it was deleted after World at War due to it being replaced with something better. Bandolier was a tier 1 perk that would spawn you in with max reserve ammo instead of the 2 to 3 extra mags you got by default. This meant if you were an aggressive player, you wouldn't have to worry about running out of ammo because this was back before Scavenger was a thing. However, that was the problem. Scavenger. Scav was introduced in Modern Warfare 2 as a way for the player to replenish their ammo but also encourage engagement. So, once Scav came on the scene, Bandolier was deleted, never to return. At number 4, Tactical Mask in Black Ops 1. Now today, Tac Mask is a pretty expected perk in COD games, but back in BO1, the effects were much less helpful. Tac Mask in BO1 would make you immune to Nova Gas. That's it. Nova Gas, the thing that absolutely nobody ever used because it was terrible. Now to be fair, Tac Mask Pro would also reduce the effects of flashbangs and concussions, but that reduction wasn't even that much. Tac Mask may be a staple of COD now, but the reason why people love it now is because it was terrible back in the day and devs had to make it better. Today, it will reduce a lot of things. Flashes, stuns, shock charges, but back in the day, Nova Gas. That's it. At number 3 today, Shades. You heard me right. Shades in World at War. Now, if there's one good thing about this perk, it's that your character would be wearing sunglasses if you had it on your class. That is cool. Shades was a tier 2 perk that would reduce the effects of enemy signal flares. That's it. The signal flare was one of the least used pieces of equipment in the game, but Treyarch felt the need to have a whole perk dedicated to countering it. Maybe they just really wanted to add a perk that would put sunglasses on your character, but yeah, absolutely nobody ran this at all. I forgot it was in there, especially since it was shared in the tier 2 perk spot with Stopping Power, Juggernaut, and Double Tap. That's a big fat swing and a big miss. At least the shades look cool. Next up at number 2. Here we go. Ante Up in Black Ops 3. Does anybody remember it? Raise your hand. Probably not. Ante Up was a tier 2 perk that would spawn you in with 100 points already on your score streak meter. Yeah, all right. 1 kill. And if it was something like 200 or 300, then yeah, you'd pique my interest. But 100? There's a million ways for you to get 100 points in Black Ops 3. And if 100 points are really going to make or break you, maybe you should switch up your game plan and strategy. Ante Up was also in the same category as Cold-Blooded, Hardwired, Tracker, Scavenger, Fast Hands. Who in their right mind was going to take Ante Up over any one of those? Just shoot one extra person and poof, you don't need the perk anymore. It's not even viable. But at number 1 today, the most useless forgotten perk, Eavesdrop in COD 4. One of my favorite useless perks. It really is. Tier 3 perk, COD 4, nobody used it. By using Eavesdrop, you would be able to listen in on the enemy's team game chat, but only if you were standing nearby an enemy player. This meant if the enemy team was talking, you could listen in on their strats and be all spy like, why? That's the problem. How many people are actually talking about strats in a Call of Duty game chat, especially back in the golden age? If you're taking COD seriously, chances are you're doing it in private chat. If you're in the COD game chat, chances are you're trying to talk smack or be silent. Eavesdrop was completely useless. Nobody used it, and after COD 4, it never returned again. Now, honestly, I would love to see it return. I think it would be awesome just for the memes, but it probably never will. And there you have it. Those are forgotten perks that need love too. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.